Well, hello. Come on in. Well, good evening. Because most of you will be seeing this video for the first time in the home of a Grace elder, you'll be doing that beside people you may have known for a long time, or perhaps beside some people that you've just met for the first time. But because you're in a home, Mary Lynn and I thought to film this portion in our home and let you get to know us and share a moment in just that way. I hope many of you have had an opportunity to meet Mary Lynn, but I'm going to have her speak and talk about our children a bit.
Hi, we have 3 children, and our oldest is Nicole. She lives with her husband in Huntington Beach, California, and does IT work. Our second daughter, Rachel, is in the Seattle area with her husband, and she's working with an educational company. And our son, William, and his wife live in San Francisco, and he does IT work, and so they're all out in the West Coast. They were all born in Louisiana when we lived here in the 1980s. And I also work at Grace Christian School as a reading teacher, but we're really happy to be here in Alexandria.
We're really glad to be in Alexandria, even with kids on the West Coast. You can understand, we miss them even as we love being here. As I was preparing for this, I remembered a great experience growing up. My family would often go back to New York, make the trek from North Carolina, and when we got there with family, my dad and my uncle and I would go sailing on the Long Island Sound. And as a boy, I remember that as a great and fun time, and it's where I learned that when the wind is coming this way, a sailboat can still go this way into the wind. If you go back and forth, they call that tacking. That came to mind for me when I was thinking about where we are as a body here at Grace Church. For over 40 years, this church has been sailing smoothly and fruitfully, particularly under the leadership of Bob Vincent. I'm so thankful for the foundation he set. But then there was a moment, Bob had to retire suddenly for health reasons, and it's as if the boat needed to tack and move a different direction. Our elders stepped up, staff stepped up to kind of fill in the gap, to kind of meet the moment. Brian Rhodes in particular, I'm very thankful for the way he just entered that moment. Quickly enough, a search committee was put together, and before long, we had met. We began to pray and sense that the Lord was in this moment. And so last November, Mary Lynn and I moved down, and we began to find our place in the ministry and community here at Grace Church. And I look back now and see that that was a time where, after a long, strong run, it was time to tack and make the next leg of the run as a sailor. That transition time, that tack, when the boat is going one way and then moves another way to catch the wind, can be kind of disconcerting and challenging. What will it look like? What will happen? But then there comes this moment for the sailor when suddenly you've made that turn, the boom has come across the boat, nobody's head is knocked off, and suddenly the sail starts to catch some wind. I think we're right at that moment where we've made that transition and the sail is just beginning to catch the wind. I'm sensing a fresh wind of the Spirit in our midst, and I hope you are too. We're starting some new things, and you'll begin to see those more and more. Some of it is kind of retooling or rebuilding some of the things we've done in the past. You'll see new faces in the worship team. There's new teachers stepping forward with our children's ministry and some people working with youth. We're adding some small groups for adults that I'm really excited about. I hope you've heard of our Safe Home Tech Workshop, where people from Grace gather, and after there's a brief presentation about internet safety for families, they actually work on people's routers and help equip their homes to be safer. The Rapides Parish Library has invited us to do that right in the library, to work with families there in that way. What a great opportunity to enter the community. We'll be looking for more and more. So I hope you sense this fresh wind of the Spirit, the sail just beginning to fill, and now we take another leg, strong and exciting and forward moving. I couldn't do that alone. You have a place, and others have a key place as well. I'm wanting you to meet some of our leadership, our elders and their spouses, our ministry staff as well. Let's take a moment and get to know them.
I'm Frank Elliott. I've been a member of Grace Church for about 25 years. We've enjoyed coming here. I have wife Nelda and 2 children, 2 grandchildren. I retired from the school system here after more than 25 years, and currently I'm on the school board for Grace Christian School. Grace Church is a caring group of people, and it's also a church that teaches the Bible and preaches the Bible, and that has always attracted me. It also provides many opportunities for us to serve the Lord. The opportunities that are ours, I believe, is the Lord's call. And so we should take advantage of those opportunities that we do have, and we'll be in the Lord's will when we do it.
My name is Bobby Smith. This is my wife, Susie. I've been around Grace since, I guess we started dating around 1980. I joined in 83, but I got married here in 82. And I formally joined in 83 or 84. I've been here since. My passion in ministry is the outreach program, which also covers missions. All of my kids have gone to school here, and I've done Sunday school, and I've been a deacon, elder, and things like that.
I grew up in this church. Bob came here when I was 12 years old. Been here a long time. My family was here before that. My grandparents were here. My parents grew up here. My mother grew up here. Dad joined later and was raised here, and still here. Our children were raised here, went to Grace, and done different ministries throughout life here. There's a lot of opportunity for that, and this is a new one, so I hope you will all come out and join us for this getting to know you. I look forward to getting to know new people as well as seeing old friends.
Well, it's really good to be in this church. We've been here like 3.5 years or so, and it's good to find the fellowship here and the richness of friendships that are here. And so we're glad to be here, and this is my wife, Sandy.
And who are you?
And I'm Paul Bryant.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, we moved here a few years back from Hawaii, and we are retired officially, but we both do odd jobs on the side, and we have 14 grandchildren, and between us we have 6 kiddos.
Anyway, we're glad to be here.
My name is Gary Smith. This is my wife, Melinda. We've been attending Grace for a little over 10 years here. I'm a physician here in town. My interest in Grace are small groups and young adults, young married couples, to have them be able to learn the freedom of life in Christ and how living according to His principles, allowing Him to direct your life, can enhance your life, bring you far closer together than you could ever become separately. We do have 2 children that still live at home with us. Our younger daughter, Elizabeth, will be relocating to the Middle East early part of this next year.
We also have 2 boys that live South Louisiana and 2 grandsons.
Hi, I'm Brian Elkins.
And I'm Barbara.
We have 4 children from 12 to 21 years old. They're Faith, Marshall, Mackenzie, and BJ. I'm a family physician.
And I teach theater and choir at Grace Christian School. Our family has been at Grace since we moved here in 1999.
Our ministry at Grace has been mostly in music. I sing, play guitar, and help lead worship. And Barbara is an accomplished musician trained in piano and choral music.
I also serve as the missionary liaison and help the congregation stay informed with our missionary needs.
We love Grace and have enjoyed being a part of it for many years.
We're excited at what God is doing among us.
And we look forward to seeing what God will do in our church family in the coming year.
Good morning, I'm Vincent Escondel.
And I'm Cindy Escondel.
I'm an elder at Grace Church, serving for the last several years. I teach the men's Sunday school class. I'm a licensed psychologist, neuropsychologist. Cindy and I are navigators and Gideons as well. We welcome your participation. Our interest is in making disciples of Christ who make disciples for Christ.
And I'm a mental health therapist and serve on the Well Council, the women's ministry here at Grace. We have 5 children and 4 perfect grandchildren. We've been at Grace 7 years.
Hi, I'm Cal Hoagie. The Air Force brought me and my family here in 1984, and we came to Grace Church, which was then Jackson Street Presbyterian Church. We liked what we saw. We joined. I became a deacon here, and then an elder in 1992. I have 3 grown children. I have 8 grandchildren. I work part-time at LSUA on Monday and Friday, administering tests. I enjoy singing, and I enjoy providing service to this congregation.
Hey, and they want to know what we do.
We don't say that, do we? Do we?
Yeah.
Will you say something about you and what you do, then I'll say me and what I do, and then you can say the rest, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, I'm John Hall. I'm a nurse practitioner here in Central Louisiana.
I'm Jennifer. I homeschool our kids.
We've been attending Grace Church for 22 years. We've been married for nearly 23 years. Our children are Grayson, Claire, and Hudson Hall. As we've served here at Grace over the years, we've been primarily involved in the youth ministry. As our children have grown, we've kind of navigated through those ministries as well. Grace is our home. Grace is our family. We love Grace, and we hope to get to know you better and love you more.
Of course, our children go to church with us at Grace, John.
brother.
No, we need to do it over.
Sandy and I and one child began our journey at Grace 28 years ago when we moved back to Alexandria to establish our family practice ministry. 5 homeschooled and grace-schooled children later, we are still learning Reformed doctrine and theology, applying grace to our lives at home, work, and church.
Throughout all the seasons of life, Grace has been that stabilizing force, always renewing us in our spirit and our understanding of the gospel and the changes that it brings about in our lives daily in renewing us.
Hi, I'm Steve Carter.
I'm Bethany Carter.
We just loved our time here at Grace. God answered a deep concern and prayer of ours when He brought us here and brought us to Grace Christian School and a church that was so deeply aligned with our heart and our thoughts. And we have just been ministered to for these 15 years in ways that we'll never know how deep it goes, but God has blessed us our time here at Grace.
We've got 7 kids, and the youngest was a year old when we first moved here, and now she's 15. They've all gone to Grace, and we've loved it here. You've just loved on our family and loved on us so much throughout the years.
I'm retired now, and a lot of my time is spent doing things like remodeling houses with my kids or bush hogging out in the country. It's a lot of opportunity to take care of things here at the church that folks don't have time, and I do, and God's just blessed me with some time, so it's been nice.
He pours himself out more than anybody I've ever known.
Bond of affection has just grown and grown over these years to the folks that are here at Grace. My heart is just so filled, and God does that. That's not anything we can control, but we just love you guys so much at Grace.
Hello, I'm Merrill Blackburn.
And I'm Kay.
That's fine. Very good. Very good. Hello, I'm Merrill Blackburn.
And I'm Kay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Why don't you just talk?
No, I don't want to talk. You're still Kay. I don't want to be called Kay.
No, and just say, and this is my wife Kay, and go from there, okay?
Okay. Hi, I'm Merrill Blackburn, and this is my wife Kay. And we have been at Grace since 1979, and after 38 years, Grace Presbyterian is still our home. I'm retired from Grace, and Kay is the principal of Grace Christian School, which we started in 1984. So we're into our 35th year of operation. And we have had graduates from go to many universities and colleges, LSU, Cornell, University of Oregon, Baylor, Georgia Tech, Southeast Louisiana, Northwest Louisiana, and many at Louisiana College. Mississippi State has some as well. I mustn't leave out my home state.
How many years have you been an elder?
34 years. Finishing up this year. And December the 31st at 11:59, there will be a big countdown.
Yes.
Yes, that is correct. And I will ride off into the sunset.
One of the historic hallmarks of a Reformed church like Grace is we are committed to this idea of being governed by elders. Now, elders are people that are recognized and affirmed by the congregation as people with leadership gifts, who have a real deep relationship with Jesus Christ and are bearing solid spiritual fruit. Together, they serve by leading the church and by governing. That accountability of multiple people is important. That same accountability works out in the day-to-day implementing of ministry. Ministry is best done as a team sport. And I'm thankful that I get to serve with a great team of ministry leaders who work with members of the congregation, volunteers, people discovering and being a part of what God has called us to be as a congregation. I want to introduce them to you. Each of them works part-time. Each of them is gifted and passionate about what they do. Each of them does what they do better than I could. And so I'm glad to be part of a great ministry team. And I'm going to step over and have them introduce themselves to you right now.
Hi, my name's Robbie Dakel. I'm the Director of Student Ministries here at Grace Church. That's for students in grades 6 through 12. We have a lot of fun. We have a lot of great events and trips and mission trips. I'm very excited about the school year and what all we have to experience this year. My wife Mallory and I are glad to be part of your students' lives. We have 3 kids ourselves, Thomas, Colleen, and Philip, and we're excited to be here at Grace.
My name's Karen Murphy, and I'm the Children's Ministry Director here at Grace. I work with the classes and the family events. I'm married to Trent, and we have 3 children. Ben, who just graduated from college, Seth is a senior at Grace Christian School, and Rebecca is an 8th grader. I'm really excited this year to work with a group of volunteers as they minister to your children and to families and help them grow in knowledge and wisdom of the Lord.
My name is Marissa Lucius, and I'm the nursery director here at Grace. My husband Paul and I have 3 children, Isabella, Lucia, and Eli. My greatest desire is for our children to know and understand God's unwavering love for them. It is an exciting time here at Grace. By this winter, we will have 9 babies in our nursery, and I hope that we will be ready for them with open arms and ready volunteers.
My name is Brian Rhodes, and I'm the associate pastor here at Grace. I'm also a teacher at our school, at the senior instructor for religion, Bible, and worldview for our high school. And I'm excited about what God is doing here, growing a community of people who love Jesus, who are forgiving and who are being forgiven, and who are loving God and seeking to live their lives to His glory and to enjoy Him forever.
So far, this has been mostly about introductions, and that's good and right because that's how relationships begin. Now, I know we can't force a relationship. There's a chemistry and kind of a divine moment with that, but we certainly want to build opportunities for folks to get to know one another, to know who to speak with, what name and what face go together, what area of ministry, what areas of interest. This is how we begin with relationships, and this is what we're anxious to make available to all of us, and including the new people that we see God already beginning to bring to Grace Church. Well, having made those introductions, I want to end this video with an invitation. I want to invite each of you to find the Father's place for you here at Grace. And I'm speaking that because I believe God Himself does have a place for you here at Grace. As pastor, as elders, as ministry staff, we want to help identify and find that place. Your place will express the unique way the Father has made you by His grace. We'll want to identify your God-given spiritual passion, your God-given spiritual gifts that empower you to serve, and we want to recognize your personal style, part of what makes you uniquely you. But those things together begin to help us know where each person fits and how we serve together. If I'm going to give you an invitation to find your place that the Father has for you here, I also need to give you an invitation to the Father's mission for Grace Church. This is not just a place to serve ourselves, but together, I believe God is empowering us to move beyond the walls of the church into the community, whether it's your neighborhood, whether it's your place at work or at school. God wants to fulfill His mission for us together to this community. Before I came as pastor, our elders had identified this particular mission. We want to extend the overwhelming grace of Jesus Christ to all people for the whole of life. We want to extend the overwhelming grace of Jesus Christ to all people in all of life. I believe God has a place for you in that. I'm anxious to find that, and I'm anxious to be a part with that mission. Let's go forward from here, shall we?
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done